everybody. Thanks for joining us today for Blitz and Aaron Go Camping. We're headed across the river and we're going to go to a small lake where we're going to camp and cook up some awesome food tonight. We're going to go morel mushroom hunting. It's a little early in the season, but hopefully we'll have some good luck. And yeah, we better get on the way. Thanks for joining us today for Blitz and Aaron Go Camping. Come on, bud. All right, everybody. Well, we made it. We already scoped out some campsites. A few of them were trash. There's a large state university that's about a half an hour away from here, so it looked like there might have been some college kids out there partying. But we found a really cool, nice, clean campsite that is on the lake. There's this awesome tree that's growing out of the water there. And yeah, we're gonna head on out here. We got tons and tons of gear, but we're not far away from the cars, so we're just gonna make a few trips. Really nice big setup, kind of like we were car camping, but we are completely by ourselves. It's gonna get down to 35 degrees tonight. I'm sure that'll scare a lot of people away. Geez, and the fact it costs $22. I could not believe that. I asked the girl, I was like, well, how much is an RV with electrical hookups? And she said 25 bucks. $3 more for an RV site, and we're just in a little primitive campsite. Whoa! Blitz is trying to find the shade. All right, well, I'm gonna get myself untangled here, and we're gonna go set up camp and have some lunch. Killing me, bud. All right, easy as that. We are here. We got our first, there's ducks off in the background. They keep going up and down, in and out of the water. Anyways, easy as that. We're here. We got our first load of gear out here. We're gonna take 2 more trips, but man, wait till you see all the cool stuff that we're gonna cook up. We're gonna set up our tent right here next to the lake under this creepy tree, and it's gonna be an awesome, relaxing night. Blitz used to be afraid of the water. Look at him now. So anyways, we could just really use a relaxing night, and that is what we're gonna do. All right, trip number 2 is done. One more trip to make. Thirsty, bud. Good boy. Trip number 3 is complete. We've got the food, the beverage, and the firewood. The firewood was a pain. We're gonna have to see about foraging for mushrooms because the brush is just so overgrown here. I can't believe how quick it came up. Some other places that we've been hiking and camping at in the woods, the vegetation just was not this dense. It's still pretty early spring. So might not be able to forage for morels and go hunting for those, but we got the food, we got the firewood, And now let's set up camp and have a nice late lunch. Bubba. There you go. Good boy. All right, let's go ahead and put together a nice quick lunch. We've got some leftover King's Hawaiian mini sub rolls left over from the stealth camp. Might save one of those for tomorrow too. That sando right there is complete. We've got some hummus. We've got some awesome chips. Like, you know, we're always featuring different chips every camping trip. We've got Zapp's Voodoo Heat. That's a nice meal right there. Late lunch. We're gonna chow down. It feels so good to be out here. We're gonna enjoy ourselves a nice cold snack. Montucky Cold Snack, the official unofficial beer of Montana. That's a nice cold snack already. All right, let's dig in. All right, first off, let's get this tent set up. We've got the old school tent that I borrowed off of my folks. Just a big old, what would they call it, a 3 or 4 person tent. This thing's old school, but man, does it work. I used it on our, what was it, creepy campground video. Check that one out. It was pretty funny. We got locked in this campground in the middle of the night. There were coyotes everywhere. But yeah, this is a super trusty tent. So let's go ahead and get it set up. I'm not too concerned with the ground being level because I've got another piece of gear to use tonight that I'll show you a little later. That right there is what I call a room with a view. A new piece of gear that I have that I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure my ailing back is too. I've got a Nature Hike backpacking camp cot. It weighs about 5 pounds, so don't know if I'd actually take it out backpacking, but it's kind of how they had it listed online. Something I can use for camps such as this where we're getting away, but we can still go back to the car to make a couple trips. Oh man, I tell you what, all this firewood right here was such a pain to haul in. Hey buddy. I wish the forest wasn't so dense because I definitely would have just foraged for firewood if I would have known that would have been such a pain. we're gonna burn all that. Definitely ain't carrying it back out. All right, the next new piece of gear we got, and it's one of the reasons we were so excited about doing this kind of hybrid car camp tonight, is I got this tripod for cooking over the fire. Let's get that set up. I already tested this out at home last weekend, and we did some swordfish and zucchini and baked potatoes over the grill. So let's get this set up. Blitz found his favorite place to hang out, always on top of the picnic tables, this guy. So next we have this chain right here. Let's see, we'll take these, put them on 3 sides of the grill. And we've got a hook on this side. And it is as simple as that. And we're gonna put so much food on this fire. Again, we've got the Coghlan's tripod grill. Or if you're so inclined, you could hang a lantern from it too. Ooh, would you look at that? We're gonna throw a skillet on that fire. All right, we're gonna hike back out to the car, and we're gonna keep an eye out for the mushrooms after I get my regular glasses on. I just realized I didn't even bring them with me and I left them at the car, so I'm gonna get out of these sunglasses and see if we can't spot something on the hike back. All right, let's get going. Would you look at that camp right there? That's great. All right, let's take a little hike, buddy. All right, it is getting close to sundown, but finally I've got my regular glasses. So we're gonna head back to camp and keep our eyes peeled to see if there's any mushrooms. Like I said, it's just so dense. You can see right there in the background, there's tons and tons of thorns. So I don't know if I can really go back there with the dog. It's doubtful we'll find any, but hey, at least I can see now. Yeah, we're a little too far north, and it's a little too early for us to easily find them. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. The young gal that I paid my camping fees to said that there had been a couple people that said they found them, but of course they didn't say where. Always a big secret. People want to go back there every year, because if you find them one year, you're going to find them the next. All right, well, we're going to get off the camera real quick and keep our eyes peeled. Well, this is pretty cool. I didn't find any mushrooms, but if it is what I think it is, it's right over here. I cannot believe I didn't see it, and nobody else did today. Some animal must have just drug it over. Blitz already smells it. Here, go on, buddy. Look at that. Oh man, score. Buying him just a little chunk of an antler is like 18 bucks. You want to take it back to camp, buddy? Here, get your treat. Get your treat, buddy. Yeah? Here, bring it with you. Come on. Come on, you gotta get it. Come on. Come on, you gonna carry it? All right, let's give this back to Blitz once we get at camp. Man, he's gonna have fun tonight. No wild mushrooms for us, but wild bone for this guy. It's 4-point. Oh, buddy, come on. He's just trotting along. It's like, come on, Dad, come on. Come on, I want to eat. All right, come here, buddy. Can you sit? You gotta stay. 1 second, bud. Here, before Blitz starts gnawing into this, look at that. Wonder what kind of animal it is that was able to chew off all that bone. I mean, it looks like it would be small. Would a mouse have done that? Enough torture. Let's let Blitz enjoy himself. Don't poke yourself in the eye, buddy. Good boy. Oh man, what a happy camping dog you are. See, that's where all the good stuff is, right? On the end, right at the base where it shed, I'll have to research it a bit more. I'm not too familiar with this, but it almost looks like a bone marrow type substance right there. Now he's making progress. He was trying to get the tips of the antlers, and I was afraid he was going to poke his eye out. But this is a lot better. He's got something to grip onto. Yeah, there you go, bud. Too funny. I guess he just wanted something fresh. I have this this piece of deer antler that I got for him at the dog store because, you know, it's something compact. It's easy to throw into the doggy backpack that he wears sometimes. And it's really, really durable too. But he doesn't seem to care about that thing quite as much as he cares about this. Man, he's gonna have this thing forever. Here, let's see, Blitz. Here, let me see. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? You can see that spot right there where something's been chewing away at it. Time to get your nails clipped, buddy. Those are growing fast. All right, now that we finally have camp established, everything's totally set up. We're going to enjoy a step two, number 2. We've got right here is Brewdog Bushwood Beer Caddyshack. Nice crisp lager. That'll work indeed. Yeah, so speaking of groundhogs and being at war with them, my neighbor next door used to have an in-ground pool. And imagine they kind of just like built up the land around it. There is this huge groundhog that just burrowed his way into all that, you know, nice soft earth And yeah, I've spotted that thing. I mean, it's huge. It's as big as a small dog. So I've got to see about, talk to the city and, see if I can rent a trap and if they'll come take care of it when I can get them, because it's starting to come onto my property and, really do a lot of damage. If my backyard wasn't ungraded enough, once it starts burrowing through the ground, it just has this whole network of places to go. So I got to get proactive, and I don't want that thing coming anywhere near the foundation on my house. So yeah, maybe we'll pick up a 6-pack of this Brewdog Bushwood beer and see if we can not resort to the dynamite. That's home for the night, Bubs. Do you approve? Oh yeah. All right, let's get this fire started so we can get some food on the grill. How should we do this? Maybe we can find a couple small pieces to use as our base. Those could come in handy. There's some fishermen off in the distance that are pulling their boats in and getting ready to go home for the night. I believe that would probably be the last boat to leave the ramp. That looks like a good one. We'll save that for Blitz. Looks like somebody might have been whittling. Tangled up, buddy? Oh. All right, so there's some commotion out in the background, but apparently somebody caught a 5-pound bass. How about that? So we're running out of daylight. You can see there's a beautiful sunset off in the background. We picked an awesome camp. It was super bright earlier. Hopefully everything isn't totally washed out in this video, but from this point on, it's definitely going to be really pretty. This is a nice sunset that we have here. So we're going to start to get some of the food prepped up, and I'll let you know what we're having for dinner tonight. That's funny, one of these sticks that I was using for the fire, somebody had fishing line around it, and I was about to throw that back in the fire, and that kind of caught my eye. Oh, there are so many things for Blitz to knock over. We're gonna have to keep a real good eye on him around this tripod. I can already see he's spun around it. But anyways, so for tonight's meal, we were really hoping to find the right patch of woods and find some morel mushrooms, and then we were gonna do a surf and turf. Buddy. So yeah, I scored a really nice, inexpensive ribeye that was on sale. I got it on the way out of town. I looked at the guy and I was like, that steak's 10 bucks? Groceries are just so expensive these days, especially for somebody who cooks as much fresh food as me. You know, you can almost go out to get fast food or pre-processed food for the same price as you can cook fresh. It's just ridiculous. So anyways, we are doing a surf and turf. I'm going to do some shrimp skewers. We got a ribeye steak. What else? I planned ahead. I had a feeling that I wouldn't find any mushrooms. I knew there was a very good chance of that. So I got a really cool mushroom that I'll show you guys a little later. What else? This guy, I might teach him how to be a morel sniffing truffle pig of a dog. So we're gonna do truffle mashed potatoes. How crazy is that? And yeah, we got some fresh herbs from the garden to use in our cooking. It's gonna be really nice. I'm super excited about this tripod grill. I think we'll be able to control the heat really well. And yeah, it's pretty fun. We got all the cooking gear out here we could possibly need, and we're gonna have a really nice night. So let's get it going before we lose daylight. Next, we will skewer up our shrimp. We've already got a little sanitizing wipe right there ready to go. Blitz, you don't like fish? We'll just go through the small end of the tail and through the large part. Blitz, you're not a bear. Blitz would not be able to beg like this at home, but he gets a pass when we're out here in the woods. Cool. We got 6 shrimp right there, skewered up beautifully. Go ahead and get our hand cleaned off right here. And luckily we got the cooler. We're gonna throw those back in and save those for another day. Let's get a little bit of olive oil drizzled on these shrimp. And salt and pepper. All right, for our next secret ingredient, since we didn't find any morels, we found the coolest mushroom at the grocery store. It is called a lion's mane. I have never cooked with this thing before. Let's see what this is all about. Look at that. That thing is so cool. It looks like coral. coral or cauliflower, I don't even know. Let's go ahead and cut this in half. I want to mess around with that a little bit more once I get back home. Get a little bit of the dirt off there. We will slice that in half, and then I like the idea of nice big steaky strips. We're gonna fry those up in butter, maybe throw a little bit of herbs on them, and that'll be a nice little topper for our steak. That pan's nice and heated up for the mushrooms, but let's get this ribeye on the grill. Hey, you gotta get back, bud. You're gonna knock something over, and nobody's gonna be eating tonight. Well, that was a little excessive, I must say. Alright, let's slap that on the grill. We're gonna move our shrimp skewers over here a little bit. We can rotate them. Alright, we got that steak on the grill. All those fishermen are finally gone. I really do think that that was the last couple boats on the water. So now we have the whole place to ourselves. Nice big old hunk of butter for those mushrooms. Throw our lion's mane mushrooms right in the pan. Those fried up quick. We're gonna set those to the side, and priority goes to this ribeye. All right, well, the potatoes are proving to be a little difficult to get them on a good boil. So we're gonna take and raise that grate up and throw these potatoes right on the coals. Potatoes are done cooking. Let's get those drained right here into the lake. I just love the lid to this pot. It has little drain holes in it, and that is good to go. What's even sopped up a bit of that starchy water from the lake. All right, now that everything's on cruise control meal-wise, let's take and drop it like it's hot. There we are. Mashed potato-wise, well, I don't know how mashed these are gonna be. Maybe more like smashed potatoes. Let's add some of that coarse ground salt and fresh cracked pepper. Big old pat of butter. Half and half. Last but not least, our black truffle oil. Doesn't take a whole lot. Not that we ever phone it in, but this might be one of our most ambitious camp cooking meals to date. We've got this beautiful ribeye right here. We've got these lion's mane mushrooms. our shrimp skewers, and our smashed potatoes, finishing up right on the coals. We just left the skin on, and I love it. Blitz is super curious about what's going on too. These might be a little soupy, but I think everything is going to incorporate really, really well. Oh, that's delicious. The time is here. Let's plate it up. There's our truffle mashed potatoes. Put those on the side. Take our shrimp skewers right here. We're going to discard the thyme into the fire. There's that big beefy ribeye, topped with lion's head mushrooms. There we are. Nice fat ribeye, shrimp, truffle mashed potatoes, hanging out with the bubs by the lake. Let's go ahead and eat. We'll get a treat for you, bud. Our beverage for this meal, we have a can of fine wine, Oregon grown Pinot Noir from Underwood, steak, and a nice glass of red wine. You gotta let it aerate. Oh, great shrimp. Let's test out this steak. I don't taste any salt and pepper on this little gristly part right here, so he's been a really good boy. I know he's been begging, but he gets away with a lot while we're out camping. So there you go, buddy. Oh, perfectly cooked. The lion's mane mushrooms are so delicate. As for this big old bowl of truffle mashed potatoes, nice and creamy, silky smooth. Steak and wine out at camp. How could it get any better? I don't know. All right, I'll check back in with you guys in a little while. All right, that meal was a success. I can't believe that. That was definitely one of the most ambitious meals that I have ever cooked. Not totally backwoods. That Last of Us camp and cook that I did with the rabbit was pretty insane. That video didn't get a ton of views. Check it out if you can, even if you aren't a fan of the show. There's no huge spoilers in it, but I went out there and cooked some pretty insane food. I did rabbit ragu in the backwoods, and I mean, man, am I talking the backwoods. We hiked out for miles. I'm still feeling it today, or else we probably would be in the backwoods again, but I am still feeling it. So I'm gonna check in with my loved ones, my girlfriend, and my mom and stepdad, call my folks, and then I will check back in with you guys for a fireside chat. I think I got a pretty good one. They're kind of hit and miss. I try, but we'll see how it goes. I think you're gonna like this one. All right, for tonight's fireside chat, I wanted to talk about bridges. Even when I was really young, my mother told me you never want to burn a bridge. Earlier today, as we were headed out of town, I got some really cool footage of a bridge being built, and I just thought that kind of struck me, and I remembered her telling me that so many times as a young man. You never want to burn a bridge. You always want to leave one there so that it can be built. So as that bridge was being built and we were crossing the river and coming over to this camp, it really just it reminded me of that. It's a saying that I don't think I had thought of in a very long time. My biological father would be the first one to admit that every bridge he had in our community was completely burned down until the time that he couldn't come back. He had no friends. He borrowed money off of everybody you could think of. Nobody would give him a job. He burnt every bridge that you could possibly think of. And as I have matured into adulthood, I don't want to say that I've made every right decision, but I would like to hope that I have not burned bridges intentionally and irresponsibly, because you never know when you're gonna need to count on somebody. You never know when you're gonna need to ask for that favor. You never know when you're going to be able to be there for that person. So anyways, it's getting really, really cold out. I've got to get myself and the dog warmed up. The fire's starting to die down, but yeah, just try not to burn any bridges. Try to build them up as strong as you possibly can, and you will find yourself much more happy and fulfilled as you progress in life. And at the end of the day, don't you just want your life to be easier? Well, anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you so much. Blitz is off in the tent. I probably need to help him get warmed up. And you've been watching Blitz and Aaron Go Camping. Have a good night, and we will talk to you soon. All right, Blitz is totally burritoed in his bed right here, and we're gonna get into ours. Man, it is getting cold. We are so tired, and let's get to sleep. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. Hey, get out of here. Stay there, bud. Get out of here. Get out of here. God, it really is the great outdoors. You okay, bud? Oh, I hope Blitz can get mellowed back out. Myself the same. There's two raccoons that were fighting about 50 feet away. And yeah, like you saw, I had a water bottle that I was able to throw at one of them, but the other didn't get the picture, and it's just mulling off in the distance, trying to get to our food on the cooler. I thought about it at one point. I've never had problems with raccoons coming into camp, but I took the cast iron pan and I wedged it underneath the handle so that it couldn't be opened up very easily. I'm gonna throw on my shoes and go out there and make sure that the food's safe. I'd really like to have breakfast, and I'd like those things to go away. So I'm gonna put on my shoes, let this guy get mellowed out, and we should be back to bed before we know it. Alright, the food seems to be safe. That thing was right over here, and I tossed that water bottle over at it. Ugh, can't wait to get back to bed. Alright, well, we got up, we checked on the cooler, everything seems to be alright. I have not had to deal with that. Maybe I remember that a couple times when I was a kid, but none of the campgrounds that I've stayed at lately have had raccoon problems. I can still hear one of them off in the distance. I hope these things don't give us any more problems. I just want to get some sleep. Like we always say in these camping videos, I'm gonna sign off. I'll talk to you guys in the morning unless anything crazy happens. That was kind of crazy. Ugh. Raccoon fight over my cooler. Morning, buddy. Come here, bud. Come here. Come here. big stretch. Make sure the food's still secure. Glad I brought that cast iron pan, that's for sure. I almost did not. Oh, but where is... Come here, bud. Where did Blitz's food go? Yep, that's what they were after. They found it. Look at that. Oh, gross. Yep. I bet those raccoons snuck into camp, and I bet they were fighting over that thing by the time we woke up and heard them, because they were right over here. Yep, they smelled that dog food. I'll have to be more careful next time. Would you quiet down? I'm trying to make a video over here. Thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. We're gonna start up another fire and cook us a nice late breakfast. So let's get that going. Priority number one, we need coffee. All right, the coffee is done percolating, but before we do that, let's get our breakfast started. You all right there, bud? We're going to be doing blueberry pancakes with bacon and our coffee. So we need to use our cup like it's a measuring cup. As you can see, I left myself a note here. It takes a half cup of milk, which is 4 ounces. I can see that measured on here. And then we can just do this right in the bag. Also going to need to use 1 egg. Very nice, no shells. Cool. So yeah, let's just mix that around right in the bag. We took and cut off the corner of the bag. It's going to make it really nice and easy to get it all in one place. We're just going to do one big giant pancake. Now for our blueberries. All right, you can see that start to set up around the sides. I had to put some small logs on it. When you are cooking over a fire like this, it really does take a lot of patience. You can't do, it's not going to be consistent. It's not going to be like cooking at home. You know, you might have to take it off the fire. You might have to put it back on. You might have to stoke the fire. You might have to add more logs or twigs. You might have to lower it closer to the coals. It's a really finicky process, but absolutely rewarding. Oh, absolutely. Whew. We gotta get this away from the fire. A blue heron just flew in. Would you look at that? All right, everything is ready to go. We've got this giant blueberry griddle cake, I guess you could call it. Here's our bacon right here. We're just gonna have to eat this right out of the pan, because as you can see, that thing's pretty much as big as my plate. All right, well, this has been a nice, relaxing morning. I don't even know if you would call this breakfast, maybe something more like brunch. So I'm gonna have a beverage with this that goes along. I think it's the perfect pairing. Right here we've got Saugatuck Brewing out of Michigan, Blueberry Maple Stout. Hey, I figure if you guys have watched this far, you probably aren't gonna judge me. And you know what? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Then. All right, camp is just as we left it, if not a little bit cleaner than it was before. So last night was pretty crazy. I don't know if anybody caught the joke, but the T-shirt that I was wearing is it says "I've been to Duluth." And just some random character in The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy was wearing it. It's like the old guy that rents out the cabin to him. And I just happened to Google it. It's not really a saying that has held up. But anyways, I have been to Duluth, Minnesota, so I thought it would be pretty funny to buy that shirt, because you could get it off Amazon. And lo and behold, just like in The Great Outdoors, the raccoons would not leave us alone. Yeah, they grabbed Blitz's dog food bowl from right here, and then we must have still been asleep, and then they drug it into the woods, and that's where they got into the fight. And then the one that got beat up, that's the one who came through camp over here. And once I saw his eyes, I chucked that water bottle at him, and he went running. The other one, I came out, I checked on the cooler, didn't even think about the dog food bowl. But the other one did come back, and he must have been eating more of Blitz's dog food right over there in the woods, only about 15 feet away from us. But after the food was gone, he left too. And on that note, it's time for us to leave too. We'll check back in with you once we get back to the car. Well, that was another successful camp. We're on our way home. We found this really cool boat launch for one of the rivers that we like to kayak. We found a little boat launch for one of these rivers that we love to kayak on during the summer. Blitz is eating some fish guts, actually. Those look like fish scales to me. Yeah, that was a really successful camp. We had a really nice, relaxing night after we went stealth camping. We just wanted to do something really, really chill. It was nice spending time next to that lake. I could see myself going there for about 2 or 3 days and really, really setting up camp. So anyways, thanks for joining us yet again for Blitz and Aaron Go Camping. All right, hope to see you guys again soon. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Oh man, this guy's breath stinks after eating those fish. Ugh, I gotta get these windows down. All right, we're gonna head home. Thanks a lot, guys.